Well, hello there, magic monsters. I need to figure out why my stinger isn't working. It was much more fun when there was a stinger and a transition between the scenes, and now there isn't one, and it's not as fun. And if you know anything about me, you know I like fun things. And purple. And having a day off of work, which is why I'm streaming on a Friday, because I have a day off work. So, hello. Welcome to the stream. Today, we are doing some very exciting stuff. Maybe. I've been working on documentation for this stuff, and then I had to go to bed last night because it was late, and now I'm back. That's how it works. I was documenting the variables, and I was making new methods for those because although I had made the variable system, I actually didn't really flesh out some of these methods. And so I made some modifications to the variables. And variables are very exciting. You can make variables on your objects, so durability. And you can modify other things based on those values that just happen to come out. It's very exciting. Then we got starting attributes, allowed attributes, item object documentation. So I did all this. Oh, I didn't finish this panel though, did I? I did not finish this panel. So we got to do that. So this stream is really going to be me making documentation and talking out loud for an hour before I have to go out to the store and buy some succulents or something for my mom's turning 80, and I have to buy plants for centerpieces for her little shindig party thing. So that's my job today, to do that. So I'm going to do that in an hour. But for now, we're going to click this edit button, and we're going to make documentation. We might talk to good old ChatGPT as well from time to time. We might. We'll see. We got that ready to go. GPT-4. I'm going to mess with that 3.5 bullshit. Instead, we're going to use 4 if we do use Chatty there. So now I just need to go and edit these. I've updated a lot of the panels, and so we got this look of the buttons instead of this older look of the buttons. Some of the actual panels themselves might need further updating as well. But basically, I've been going through and just replacing these images with new ones so that people going to the docs will see the latest images. And that's always important. I use getbook.io for my documentation. I like it. They have the free tier for someone like me. All right, let's see. Once you have stats set up, you can set how this item object will affect them here. The math is all handled automatically, and once you have your data set for runtime, so that any item object you choose can affect the stats of the player which has stats. That is absolutely true. And sets of two key concepts, value and proficiency. Value are numbers, while proficiency is a percent. The example above, the Warhammer, well, I gotta change that. The example above, the sword weapon will increase the attack stat of the owner by 2. And increase the damage stat of the owner by 3 plus 1%. Oh no, that is proficiency. This would double the proficiency. That's not supposed to be the case. It's damaged by 3, so we gotta replace that. That's gonna maybe confuse somebody. Proficiency would not be. Yeah, so the proficiency always starts out as 1. Hello, Corey. How are you? Proficiency always starts at 1, which means 100% proficient, which means no modification, no change. If you're over 100%, then you're more proficient. If you're under, then you're less proficient. So it should be 1 as 0. And this is an addition to that. Did I not? Oh, there's, okay. And so this is adding 0 here leaves it as 1. So yeah. So Stat documentation. All right. Detail these. Targets are the stats that will be affected by this add a new target using the drop down at the top. Using the search and drop down at the top. All right. Sources. What did I just do? Sources are the stats that will be used to compute the effect value on the various targets. Add a new source using the drop down on the right. Well, I feel like we have to dig into that. Why is that doing that? Okay. I think this should actually be above that. So base and then sources, and then we'll do computational type. Okay, let's do a source here. Do I have anything that already has a source on it? I don't think so. Let's see. Master sword, maybe. All right, we'll do this. Okay, so our master sword is going to, I don't know, it's going to scale up with something. All right, so master sword affects our might, and we're going to add a source of, say, personality. All right. Okay. How much do I want to show in the screenshot? Probably this whole thing. All right, let's talk about this. We got computational types, but to talk about that, we need a new screenshot. So let's add a new screenshot. Is my music coming through? No, it's not. There it is. That's better. So quiet otherwise, you know? All right, so this example shows the master sword, which is a quest item. Oh, I should explain what quest items are, and has a greater impact on the owner's stats. All right. Let's see, where would I talk about quest item? Oh, I guess quest item is external to all this, huh? So let's talk about that here in a hint. Where's the hint? The quest bool, toggle, bool, is used to identify this item object as something special, which may need special rules. For example, the drag and drop inventory system will not let a player drop a quest item, as that may result in the quest item being lost. This is a your own systems may choose to make use of this value. It doesn't really have, the quest item bool doesn't really have any other special thing going on. It just says, hey, this is special. And so, yeah, so the drag and drop inventory system does indeed make use of it. And yeah, so there we go. All right. So in this example, we've got the master sword and it does more stuff. Here it is. Paragraph. Our master sword item object is a quest item and has an impact on might, as well as, I'm going to have to replace this screenshot, as well as attack and damage. Okay, let's set this up. Per we can do the stat lookup thing here too. Okay, we'll just do final stat. We'll increase this by 0.0. No, that would be points. Yeah, we'll do 0.01, 1% increase for every final stat and personality as well. So we can describe this in the documentation essentially. All right, let's replace this. All right, so the Master Sword now shows the right personality. Let's see. The base value for might is has a proficiency boost of 0.1. This means that the owner of this weapon, when equipped, would get a 10% boost in their might stat. It's not necessarily 10% because if their proficiency is higher or lower, yeah, so in the proficiency of their might stat, a 10% 10-point boost. It's kind of 10% point boost, yeah, whatever. I think people get the gist of it. There is also an additional source, personality. This is set to add 0.01 to the proficiency of might for every final stat in the owner's personality. This means that if the owner has a personality of 20, there will be an additional, it's probably overpowered, 20% point boost in the proficiency of their might stat. Does that make sense? I think it does, but you know, I am very biased when it comes to this. There are other values modified with the source stat selected. There are multiple ways to compute the modification, which you can select via the drop-down. Toggle the row off if you don't want this particular source to affect the target. Raw. This is the base option. Will only be included if the owner also has the source stat. That means that if it's raw, it just means there's no extra computation. You either have it or you don't. You get the bonus. There's no other bonus. It's just if you have personality, you get this bonus. And then we got points by the points associated with the source stat. So if you know however many points you have in personality, proficiency, similar thing. Final stat, and then the x times the value of. And so selecting this will present additional drop-downs for another stat along with the lookup table. In the example below, you may read it as 0.01 times final value of level times value of wisdom in stat bonus. Does that math make sense? Oh, hello, Midnight Oil Software. I'm sorry I missed the stream today. I slept through it. Well, not through it. I slept into it and then missed it. And I logged on after the stream, and I had a nice conversation with Uri and Jason. But I have a day off work, and so I slept in, and I guess that's okay. But I'm sorry I missed the stream. I want to see your game. Lookup tables provide specific output numbers based on the input. If the object with the stats has an output value of 6 for the stat wisdom and a final value level of 10, the math would equate to a 60% increase in proficiency of the stat critical strike. 0.01 times 10, because level. Level 10, is that right? Yeah, so they're on level 10, it'd be 10% times 6 equals 60% boost in critical strike proficiency. Oh, no. So this is, 0.1 times the final level. Okay, but they'll also get this 0.9 as well. All right, that's fine. It's very powerful, this math here. All right, X times value. This competition option will obtain the lookup table output for the source stat and selected and multiply the values entered by that. Do I have a lookup table? Documentation. I don't know. Let's make one. Where would this go? Would this go under items or stats or just in general? Probably in general, I suppose, but maybe it's best under stats. It's not, doesn't have to be only used for stats though. That's the thing. So let's see, new document page, and we will call this lookup tables table v4.0. We're going to add in a image. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're doing well. All right, so let's make sure this is okay. That's fine. Lookup table. Create lookup tables. Convert an input value to an output value, and can be used in the stat effects of objects which affect stats, such as item objects. Create them. To create a lookup table, what is it? Just right click, create game modules, create lookup table. Right click in the project view and select create game modules, create lookup table. Create game modules, create lookup table. Down here, add input and output values as you'd like. You can have as many lookup tables as you need for your project. All right, and then there's some scripting involved in this too. So let's go to our handy dandy scripting right here and lookup table. Lookup table. It's been a while since I looked at this. It's not complicated. There's really nothing complicated here at all. In fact, this should probably just be a dictionary. But that's okay. I might expand on this later, so it doesn't have to be a dictionary. Lookup table values. Yeah, actually, it shouldn't be a dictionary. It would be very interesting if in a future update, I'm not going to do it now because that would be feature creep. If the output value wasn't necessarily a float, but it could be any value. So it could be an image, it could be, a stat, it could be an IAM attribute, all sorts of things. So that's due for an update in the future. And I should delete these unused usings. All right. Clean this up while we're here. Add order table has input. Make these smaller because I like smaller. What is this saying? Probably float comparison. Yes. We'll do that here too, but let's just do this. And okay. All right, so let's do documentation for this. We'll do a new header here called methods, and we will say code block C#. And the first one will be get a value from the lookup table. And then we're going to do a check if the lookup table has an input value. Remove lookup table. We're not going to expose that to people. And then get output value. Okay, so we're going to say var lookup table equals my lookup table. Some lookup table. I'm never a huge fan of my this, my that, but that's just me. So we're going to say public var value equals value found, or lookup value equals lookup table dot result from input value. And we'll say var input value equals player dot stats dot. We don't need to specify that. You can use your imagination. Input value. So you get the input value, you get the output value, and we'll call this output value. And then check if it has a input value. Has input value. Is this going to be used at runtime? I don't think so, but that's okay. We can see. If, I mean, I'm actually not going to expose this because, excuse me, it's not going to be used at runtime. We're going to change this to output value from an input from a lookup table. All right, so just that's it. Just lookup table result from input, and then you get the output. That's it. It's very simple. And we'll leave it there. I'm going to expand this in the future, but for now, we will leave it there. So now if we go back to our item objects here, and I believe we're down, where were we? Stats. I was talking about lookup tables, and I want to link to that. Lookup table. So link to lookup table. And we'll do it again here. Look up tables. Okay. And we'll do it once more here. Link lookup tables. Okay. This computation option will obtain the lookup table output value for the source stat selected and multiply the values entered by that. Using stats to modify stat is a great way to add complexity to your game and give your players much way. Characters, your system will make it much easier. Connect all the stats with things you. Yes, and if you inherit from Game Modules Actor, then it's all automatic. We have to update that in a bit. Next is the loot items. This is a very simple panel. It's more informative than anything else. And in this panel, we'll go back to the sword. In this panel, it basically just shows which loot box item it's in, and you can add and remove it from items as well. So nothing too fancy here, but loot boxes are nice, and the system makes it easy to create them. So we're going to replace this. All right. If you have loot box items set up, it's probably link loot. Via the loot box module, you can see. I think we're just calling it the loot module now. Yeah, loot module. You can see which loot box items you are able to remove or add to new ones from the drop down. That's it. Very simple. Yes. In this example, the weapon sword is part of the basic gear and basic weapons loot items objects. Loot item objects. All right, that was easy. Now inventory, also similarly easy. Should probably make this height of 3 and width of 1, just so it looks more reasonable. This is for when you're using the drag and drop inventory module, settings for that. All right. If you're choosing to use the drag, and drop inventory system, not module, I'm calling things systems if they're like opinionated, and modules if they're not opinionated. So most are modules, but the inventory is a system, meaning this is the way it works, and if you don't want it to work that way, don't use it. But it's a good system otherwise. You can see the basic values for the dimensions of your object. You can set the basic values on the grid, plus set the inventory prefab and world prefab. Check the inventory documentation for more. Yeah, because that is good. Inventory, game module systems, inventory. All right. And dictionaries. Dictionaries is a major update. Okay, let's clear this stuff here. This panel needs to be updated too. We're not having this, not having this, not having this, or this, or this, or this. But we have to show something in this, so we're going to show flavor text add to all weapons, and we will show what else might be a dictionary? I mean, I guess you could say equip sound, and then if we go back to our inspector here, now we've got these, so we're going to add a string. How do we get to display a text box? Did I somehow lose that along the way? Maybe. should fix that right now. This one's going to be a audio clip, and we will just populate with something. Menu click. This sword is nothing special, but it will cut a goblin just the same. Yeah, I want this option to be a text box, and I think I have that built in. Let me see. Where would it live in the code? Dictionaries. Could be in the key value. Let's see. Bool. Using all types. String as text box. We don't say it here. Do we say it here? We don't say it there. Go to file. Dictionaries, drawer, editor. We say it once. Where is it? String as text box. There it is. All right, so show object edit field. If it's string, new value. Okay, so this is where it should draw it, but the thing is, we don't have an option to select it as a text box. So I think if we're back on our management here, showing it right here makes a lot of sense to me. Actually, we might actually be on this already. Let's see. Up arrow or arrow up. Remove button. I think it's here. So let me do a label. Oops. Label test just real quick, just to see if it shows up here. I believe this is the right section. Show key value list object. I think it is, but let's see. It does not appear to be the right section. It is there instead. So I could put it there. I feel like it's better here, just as global. I guess it doesn't have to be. But the key value is going to be the whole list. Right? Let's see. Key value dot string as text box equals left check text box key value dot string as text box and width of 25. Oh, not 25. I'll make it 100. Let's just see what this does. I believe this means that I will have redundant toggles, but we'll see. Let's see. So now you can show it as a text box. That's great. I need to clear the color, but if we add a second one, yeah, so that's not helpful. So we should make this not here. We will copy this code, but we're not going to put it there. Instead, symbol X. Where do we have? We have 3 symbols X's. This is maybe it. Show common dictionary structure. That makes more sense. Background color. Let's just say reset color, and then we will do that, and that should remove it from here and add it to the other one, and we will see if that works. There we go. So flavor text can be a text box. I can update this to be more clear. Show string as text box. We'll make this wider. See if that's long enough. Okay, and now when we go back to our thing here, it didn't work. I believe that is because we don't actually update it. Yeah, we do. It's right there. Let's see what's going on. Huh. All right, maybe it does need to be updated somehow. Key value, let's see. Okay, I think we have to do this. So var temp show value. So I'm using Copilot as well, by the way, which has been very nice. It didn't quite do it right, so we're going to do temp string as text box, key value string as text box, and then if temp string as text box, come on, fill in the blanks for me. Nope, as text box does not equal key value string as text box for each dictionary D in this object dictionaries. String as text box. You look at that, Copilot for the win, right? That was a good use of Copilot. It was a very small use, but it worked well. So now that means every time we update it here, it should update on the others. There it is. All right, so I'm gonna go back over here and delete that or turn it off. There we go. So now we can show string as text box, and those show as text box. Okay, perfect. Let's get back to documentation. That was a good update. And I won't show the migration option. So V4 breaks all the previous ones, but I was able to build in this migration option for the dictionaries. So if you already have a project that you're using and you are migrating up, which I think maybe 3 people in the whole world, if even, are going to be doing, then you can use this migrate to V4 button to move the data over and then clean it up. And that's just much more convenient than having to retype in everything that you've typed in the past. So that's nice. I was happy I was able to do that. All right, dictionaries. So let's replace this image. All right. So here you can manage the values on various dictionaries, key value pairs set up. Each one is a list, and you can add and reorder the entries as you'd like. That is true. Each key value can hold many different types, including game module types. To expose map values for modification, that is not true. To add keys to individual item objects, you will need to set up a dictionaries key value pairs. You will need to click the manage item objects button at the top of the inspector. Dictionary keys, not types, that's old. Dictionary keys are the same for all items with the same object type. On the manage item objects panel, you can set up keys and optionally choose to display strings in those keys as a text box. Okay. And should I show a small image of that? Like this. This needs to be updated up here though. And then we'll show an image. That's not the... All right, let's try it this way. Image. No? Can't display an image. Insert image. That's weird. All right. Who's been playing Diablo 4? Hello, Warped Space. Oh, that's a very small image. That's not going to work. All right, we'll just not do an image. All right, so those ones are done. I'm going to merge that. I sometimes feel like if I don't merge it, it says it saves it automatically, but I'm not so sure. So sure sometimes. Oh, and this has to be removed. This can be. Let me edit that real quick. Item attributes. This is actually now listed in the starting item attribute link here because there was far more data or details to show. So now you have to click in and go to this page to see the details. All right. These all look good. Now let me update this view. Should be simple enough. We are already have it open. We have another file open that will be useful. I'm just going to close these. Maybe we don't have the right one open. Okay, let's go to editor, window, item, object, and while we are here, we can do the item attributes while we're here. Okay, so this is now using a slightly different way of handling our menu buttons. So if we're going to do menu button options up here, and we'll remove my old notes from 2021. All right, so we'll put this here. Our menu bar options for this are going to be item attributes, stats, inventory, and dictionaries. And I believe it's going to be very similar for this one, but let's go and have a looky-loo. And to go here, we're going to go here, and here, and here, and here, and inspector, manage, item attributes. It's not the same. Property code is not being used in this view anymore. So item attributes is going to be stats and dictionaries only. So we can just delete those two. Okay, and then we're going to copy our paste. Already updated this one. So in our show buttons here and show buttons here, we are going to do just this. Instead of all this code, we're just going to do this. But we also need menu bar index, I guess. And we'll do that here as well. Whoa. Oh, did I somehow bring it down? That's annoying. I didn't want to do that. All right. Show buttons. All right. And same deal. Place all this code with just a single line. Isn't that nicer? I like it. It's a lot better. And then we have this toolbar menu. Oh, because these have to go from, instead of editor utilities, just Infinity Editor. You know, the Infinity Editor comes with my stuff, and you can make use of it as well. So all these fancy editor scripts that I'm making, you could make as well. Hello, Corey. Oh, I already said hello. You never mind. Take it back. I know I've played Diablo a little bit, but now I've been doing this all week, so there you go. And vertical box. And whoa, this one has a lot of updates. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, maybe this one can do both. Hold on. Let's edit that in a second. Let's finish this one. Show buttons. All right, so in toolbar main, that should work. Shoot. Okay. Well, this is a little bit deeper because I don't think I want to use. Oh, I think I may have just deleted the wrong one. Infinity Editor. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Okay. Can do modules window selection. Editor utilities. Let's open that up. Open this up. bring this over here. Can do this. Modules, Windows selection key. Do I have any of these? Try to select inspector. Try to, no, I have nothing of those here. Do these work here without breaking everything? See all these wonderful methods you can steal? Let's see. Modules, Windows selection key. I don't know if this actually is going to be used. Try to select inspector. I can't remember why I had that, but apparently I had that here. Probably to move from this window back to the inspector when you click on something. That's my best guess, but I'd have to dig into the code to understand why. But the first thing I want to do is just make sure it works. And it appears to mostly work. Now this is the same issue. We just change that to box and it should work. And then show buttons. This will work. The other thing is now for menu bar index is our checker for whether we can see stuff. So when we show stats, instead of this, we have to say if that does not equal 0, then we return. All right, and then show dictionaries. Same thing, but we know this is going to be index 1. Now you could do a fancier thing and be like, if it doesn't equal the string in whatever, but this is just, we're not doing the property code anymore. And then we'll do the same thing here. Show item attribute, and then show stats. This is going to be index 1, and then show inventory, index 2. Show dictionaries, index 3. Okay. That was just the 3. Yep, looks like it. We already moved the property code on that one. Stats and dictionaries, and item objects, item attributes, stats, inventory. I need to clean this up. I don't know if there's much value. The whole point of this was like you could look at each item and kind of edit them here rather than going to each item. But there's so much information on each item now that it's not necessarily convenient. Like it might be, but at the same time, I don't think it is as convenient. Because if you're on the sword, you can do all sorts of different things. And I'm not going to build all of this. This is my, those were my screenshot ones. I'm not going to build all of these into this because that's just redundant. So I think I'm going to have to end up going through that and removing it. Okay, so let's go to this. Dictionaries make sense. Inventory. This kind of makes sense, I think, because it's just a long list and you can check for things that are missing. Stats. I don't know. Item attributes. I don't know. So this is going to be for all weapons. It's kind of like a checker. You know, you can add for all weapons. You can remove for all weapons. This should be a different color though, because it's clearly a different thing. So let's clean this up a little bit. Yeah, because this is convenient. The stats one though, I don't know about that. So this is editor window item object, and we're looking at manage item attribute availability. Okay, so label sized. Yeah. What are my other options? Label gray, label sized, label big, and toolbar options. I think Yes. Okay. All right. I kind of want a like standardized header 1, header 2, header 3, like the docs. Let me try to do that real quick. We're gonna do header 1. So it's gonna be label. Font size is gonna be fixed. Bold is gonna be fixed. So this is going to call label big. So it's really just going to do this, a label big, and it's going to be label, and we're going to do 20 maybe. That seems like a good suggestion. And true for bold. But we need the width option and the tooltip option. So we will add string tooltip and width. String tooltip and width. And what if we want one without a tooltip and just width? Then I guess we can do that version as well. So width, label width, font size, and tooltip width. There's no tooltip without width though, is there? Okay. So label tooltip width 20, true. All right, so we got 3 header 1s, header 2 and header 3. And I think the only difference, they'll all be bold. The only difference will be the size. Maybe we'll do 18. Nope. Maybe we'll make these 24. We'll start with 24 for header 1, and then we'll make these 18, and then we'll make these 14 for header 3. Okay. So now when I go back to my window here, instead of label size, we'll say header 1. And we'll see how that looks. Okay. And then we'll say look for item attribute types. Let's just remove old comments. Show item attributes. Item attributes. Header 1. Drawer. Item attribute drawer editor. And this using Infinity Editor. That's nice. Okay. Item attribute types. Here, show types. So for this one, I think I do want to make this a slightly different background color. So okay, background color equals new color 0.6f, 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 1.0f, and then reset color. We'll see if this looks right. I just want it to be like slightly brighter than the rest because it's the main one. The rest are all based on these. It doesn't look to be any different. Maybe it needs to be content color. And that might screw everything up actually. Am I missing something? I am, I think I am doing this in the wrong section. Let's see. Okay. Item attribute types. Show item type structure. so maybe it's this one. So let's try it. Header 2. Hello, Magic Tim. You didn't install it into your main project, Tim, did you? Because, Tim, I specifically said don't do that. See? Brand new pipe project. Uh-oh. Did it, it's gonna break your project. Game Modules 4 is a breaking change. It's a major update. It will break your project. I do have in the docs some tips on migrating over, but it's definitely going to break your project in every single way because it's just that much better. But there was no going about it. I hope you have a... Okay, maybe I misunderstood. Oh, sorry, I totally misunderstood. You said, I hope the update will not break your project. Well, it will. It will definitely break your project. If you go to the docs linked from Infinity PBR scripting docs, I do already have migration tips. Now, I'm updating the docs, so these are mostly more than migrated over, but there are going to be things like this game modules actor is probably going to be a game changer for you, I'm guessing, because this is how, if you inherit from game modules actor, everything becomes very automated, where you barely have to do anything and everything just works. So there's that. There's new interfaces. There's a new concept of a game ID. The game ID didn't exist in the previous version. No more ticks except for with quests. The dictionaries is a brand new update, but there's also this migration button. But otherwise, the dictionaries are completely different, and you call the data differently as well. And then, of course, there's more repositories now than there were before, too. And then there's new features like the quests and the game time. Time board game time has been improved. Good. Thanks, Tim. Yeah, so it will break your project, and I apologize for that, but it's worth it, I think. I would say. I'm biased, but I think it's worth it. All right, so we have item attribute types. And then right here, structure, it's going to be this. And for each one, label, we're going to do header 3. And let's see if that works. Did it work? Nope. I did header 3 on the wrong thing. This one. Header 3. Okay. Tooltip. Yeah, we just gotta change this. Okay. Tim, by the way, has been using game modules for quite a long time, and I very much appreciate it. He's had some great feedback. Nice. So I appreciate all that. All right, so now I want to change this color in these, and I think maybe we'll add a little toggle to turn these on and off, because I can imagine in a game this could get really, really long and tedious. So let's do those things while we're here. So first the color. We're going to look at header 2 and start vertical box. This is really going to be the, background color equals color, new color. Just do 0.6f, 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 1f. Go from there. And, oh, that's too dark. We want it brighter. So let's go with 8. That seems almost too bright. Well, if we just did, oh, you know what? Here's the problem. I bet it's just color white is, shoot. Okay, color.white. Oops. Because these are already pushed down in their value by virtue of the box, the editor stuff in the box? Yeah, okay. So instead of this, what we're going to do is on these, start vertical box, color gray, and that should make these darker. There you go. Now they kind of look like they're turned off. Well, that's not what I want either. All right, so we'll do this color, new color, RGB. So if we wanted cyan, it would be blue and green. So 0F, 1F, 1F, 1F. Yes, that's cyan. So it's probably going to be too bright. I could have just done cyan, color.cyan if I wanted that too. But I think that's weird. Why didn't it work? Am I using the wrong thing? Oh, yes, I put it in the wrong spot. It's got to be before that reset color. Okay. All right, so that's going to be, that's not so bad. But what I'm going to add in the red here to make it a little, so it's just, I want it to be just tinted a little bit. So it's just a slight hint that it's different. That's probably okay. Maybe make that slightly green then. Okay, that'll be fine. I'll stick with that for now. All right, start vertical box, and then, whoops, wrong button. Editor window, item object. Item attributes, draw editor. Okay. So now for this one, it's going to be a for loop, can't it? No. Can it be a for loop? Nope. Okay. Type. Nah. All right. For each one of these, button remove. Before the button remove, we have our label, and we're going to have a check box here. So let's do a how are we going to save this? For each game module object types. I guess we can use editor prefs for this. I feel like editor prefs is probably the way to go. So private bool get prefs value. We're going to need a string key or isn't Copilot great? That's kind of what I was thinking of doing. Okay. And we're going to say if not has key, and see if Copilot can fill in the blanks for me there. No, you're not going to fill in the blanks? That seems like an obvious one. There we go. So if it doesn't have the key, set to true, and then get the bool and return it. And then for each one of these, before the label, we're going to say It's close. We're going to say, actually, that is right. Show equals that. And, oh, wow, look, it knows my code. Show equals toggle show. Check. Doesn't know my code. Check. Check, and no label, no tooltip, width is 25. Why isn't this not? Where are my options? Oh, just value and width. Okay, show 25. All right, so, and actually we're going to be doing this. It's going to be this editor pref set bool, editor pref get bool, I messed up a little bit. Set bool. Let's make this a little cleaner. All right. Var key value or key string equals. We'll just copy this over. I am attribute type. I am object type. No, this isn't quite right. I am attribute type, and then we'll just do T. Yeah. Okay, so that's the key string. Ignore that. So we're going to do editor prefs dot set bool to key string. The value is going to be this check mark, and then we're going to do the get bool for this as well. But instead of all this, we just type in key string. Okay, and we'll still do this. If it doesn't have key string. Yeah, okay. If it doesn't have key string, then we will set bool to true. And okay, there we go. That should do the trick. And we don't need this method after all. So this is basically going to say if we don't have the, it's going to set the string to be I am attribute type, so prefix, quality, whatever, and then the index. Ooh, wait a minute. No, this doesn't need to be the thing at all. So we can say manage. So item object manager item attributes, and then put in the attribute type. There we go. And if that's if we don't have the key, then we're going to set it to true by default. So we're showing it by default, and then we're going to show a checkbox and set the value of that to the bool. And then later we will turn these on and off by the value of that bool. So we're going to make this something up here. So private string key string is going to be this. Oh, we need string item attribute type, and then make this key string item attribute type. Okay. All right. So we got those. Ooh, and actually, I have a different button for this because this might imply to some people that you're turning it on and off, and you are, but really we want the eyeball button, and I think I have that built in. So let me quickly see. Eyeball button toggle eye. Yes, look at that. This one takes in a value and a width, and so we can do a very similar thing. It's like a check. So instead of this, instead of check, we're going to do button eye. And that should give us a little eyeball icon that we can click to turn on and off. I'm trying to remember to use that as the uniform language there. There we go. And then we're gonna, now let's do this, and then we're gonna come back to this and do some more management here, some helper stuff there. So let's go for each of these, and let's copy our get bool. And then, so that's the structure, and then the attribute structure for each one of those. Header 3, but we're only going to do this if we are showing it. So right here, if that, then continue. So if we're not showing it, then continue. What are we doing here? What did I type? If not that, then continue. Why is it giving me an extra 1, 2, 3? No. Continue. All right, there we go. So now we should only see the ones that we are eyeballing. Oh, it's past 1. I gotta go soon. Let's finish this up, then I gotta go shopping. All right, so this isn't changing, but it is. So we are showing, but this is supposed to change too. Why isn't it eyeball? Eyeball. Eye button toggle eye. What does this look like? I'm using it elsewhere. Oh, I should be calling button open close. Okay, let me go back. That's why it's not working. Button open close. String key. It's going to be that. Value. It's going to be that. Grab value from key equals true. So we just need to do that then. And 25. No, what's our options? It's always 25. So it doesn't matter. Okay. See, so I did all that work, and I think I just didn't need to because I'd already done it in a nice helper method with button open close, where I could pass in the string, it'll do all the prefs for me, all the coloring. See that? That was nice of me earlier to do that. All right, so now we need to do another thing, and we want to say if there are no items, then we'll just turn it off. Or something. Maybe we won't turn it off, but we won't show it, or something like that. Let's see. So active in no label gray, active in no item. We don't have that. Active in use count string. Oh, I see. So if you use count, where is this set? Right there. Active in no. So in the button open close, if use count equals 0, if use count equals 0, yeah, equals 0, then we will just do something else. We will do that. Whoops. That. So if it's, we're going to do a label, just an empty label of 25 width, so that the spacing is right. And we need to adjust that a little bit, but the spacing should be right. But then these will just turn off, meaning you can't even look at them. It's just not giving you the impression that you can look at them when you really can't. There you go. Spacing seems fine enough. I think it's right, actually. And now you can just turn these ones on and off so you can view them or not. And if you add that, then that can be turned off. If you remove it, then that gets turned off. Look at that. That's amazing. That's super helpful. Yeah, that's going to be more convenient now. So now when you want to test, you can just look and see what's what. Because if I remove it here, then active and no items, that prefix. This is supposed to be updated. Oh, I see. Okay, so yeah, so this is saying active, so prefix is active in all weapon types, and then icy is active in all. I can remove it from all, or I can add it from all. If it was active in just a couple, then it would show as just a couple here. So like if I go long axe, go to item attributes, allowed item attributes, and I turn off rare. Oh, I can't do that. Shoot, because the variable is using that. Let's say nope. Nope. Okay, I can use this one. Okay, I can't. No. Wait a minute. Variable is using the suffix. That can't be true. I think this is, I think I have this backwards. If it can use that, let's see. If it has a variable of attribute type, I had it backwards, which is why I was saying I couldn't remove any of these, but I could remove quality, which I definitely can't remove quality because it's being used here. So you can't remove quality because that's handled by this, but I can remove these. So now when I go back to my item objects, it says active in 5 item objects of type weapon. And I can add it to all of them. And now when I go back to this, it will be added there. So you can manage it that way and see what's what. That's the whole point of that. So that was a good update. I gotta make docs on that, but I gotta go shopping. So I'm gonna call this one a stream. Thank you for hanging out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you are new to this channel and you're interested in trying out the game modules right now, join the Discord. I've just put up this preview 2. It's basically the entire package. Obviously, the package is going to be improved. I'm going to be adding more things, changing things. So, ultimately, you can get it from the asset store when it becomes available. The price will go up with version 4. For those who already have it, there will be a free upgrade. But for everybody else, the price will go up because it's currently $40 and it's worth way more than that. And version 4, I think, really brings it into its own as something that I think would rival things like Game Creator and stuff to a point. It doesn't have as many systems, but that's because this is not intended to make your game for you, but rather make it easier for you to make your game the way you want it to make, because I tried those out and they're fine assets. That and RPG Maker, fine assets, nothing wrong with them, but I wanted my game to look different, and I realized that if I wanted my game to look different, I would have to do some work on updating those packs to make that work. But anyways, have a look. Let me know what you think. Join the Discord, check it out, and have a great day. I'll see you all later. Thanks.